Welcome back to another segment of 120 Seconds. As always, I am Stockwell. I'm posting the first of just a few gathering interviews that I was able to conduct while on the grounds. This year, I worked a ton, and between stages and between events, I tried to sneak in as many interviews as I could. Some artists weren't able to make it because they too were busy, and I had a few more scheduled that just didn't happen, and it's unfortunate. But here we are. These were the ones I was able to conduct. So the first one that I was able to conduct was with Stray Novls. If you were at their set, it was criminally under attended over there on the detonation stage. The sound was kind of whack, and there was like a 20-minute lull because somebody couldn't get their songs to work, and not them, but a couple acts before them, and really got disjointed kind of right off the bat that first night over there at detonation stage. But I feel like these guys, I know I sure tried to make the best of things, and people did come over to see them. So I wasn't able to call people in with foot traffic like I try and normally do. There wasn't a whole lot of foot traffic to be had over there. So people were showing up, and people showed up to see these guys. So it was Stray Novls. Again, this is the first interview that I was able to conduct at the Gathering of the Juggalos this year. I've just got a few more for you. And then aside from that, usually I live stream on Fago Lovers when I'm there. And we just had no signal by the main stage. I mean, and when we did, it was really intermittent and cutting in and out. So I didn't even try to go live the entire time. So I'm just going to put basically what I recorded, whether it was from the press pit or when I would leave and kind of hang back and, splice some acts together. And I'll put those up this week too. Just, not taking myself too seriously, because I knew I was basically recording them for me. When it comes to like Eshawn, Far Side Tech 9, you're going to hear me shouting all the words in the background. So enjoy me enjoying the sets as they were playing out in front of me. So until next time, thanks everybody for checking these out. Again, this is Stray Novls. I'll put all the links below. I highly recommend you check these guys out. Thanks. Welcome back everybody to another segment of 120 Seconds. As always, I am Stockwell. I am here with Stray and Novls, 2/5 of SSO, Sky Swamp Orange. Right? 2/5?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, I got the math right.
Maybe.
Okay.
2/4.
Yeah. 2/4. Oh.
Depending on the year.
Oh, okay. All right. So in about, 6 hours, my math might be not mathing there correct. I'm going to introduce these two to the stage at the detonation stage here at the Gathering of the Juggalos, which is obviously where we are. And to start off, most 120-second, interviews. We have the artists, if you want to go individually or however you'd like to do it. Explain yourself to someone who's never heard of you in roughly 120 seconds. There's no hard line. So,
so my name's Stray, and we're, like he said, a part of a band called Sky Swamp Orange. We're also part of a collective called Rogue Hollow, and we're out here at the Gathering getting ready to do it. About to sing a bunch of sad songs and rap really fast and scream really loud and touch the people. Consensually, of course.
It's a nice mix of everything, We'll
rap,
a little
touch.
Yeah. We sing sad songs with a good groove to it. That's pretty much how we do it.
You want to cry and shake your ass at the same time? That's it. That's the vibe.
Occasionally some witchy shit,
And the goal is to say that you're sorry as much as possible in the most creative ways possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever rhymes with sorry. We'll see you there.
All right. So we'll start with a stupid question right off the bat. The New Haven, Frank Pepe's, Sally's, which one?
Modern.
Modern. Okay.
Modern.
Yeah, okay.
100% modern.
Okay.
Pepe's
Also,
is good, but it's overrated.
Okay.
A
Modern's
sleeper
where it's at.
that doesn't get brought up as much as like Sally's and Frank Pepe is Bar.
Well, I've also heard of that
Bar's
one.
really good.
They got huge slices.
Okay.
But it's like a dance club at the same time, so that kind of sucks.
It's a weird environment.
yeah.
It's a
The
dance
actual
club.
spot.
Yeah,
Oh,
you just
okay.
like you
And
got
pizzeria.
pizza in one room, and then you just walk around the corner, and it's like a dance club, and there's always weird men trying to touch you,
Okay.
steal your pepperoni. Yeah.
All right. The reason I bring that up, and it's more for my audience, but 120 seconds is, I'm ripping off Matt Pinfield's 120 minutes, and I wanted to do like these short album reviews. That's where this whole thing started, because man, you can only hold people's attention for so long. And I thought if I could just give a quick 2-minute, like, here's why I don't like this, or here's why I do, and maybe people would start listening, right? Even if I didn't like it, people would start listening. And so, it has evolved, and I stole a little bit of Portnoy magic by not holding myself so rigidly to 120 seconds, because at the beginning I was really trying to. And it's just tough.
That's tough.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, if you never watched Dave Portnoy, he says 1 bite, everybody knows the rules, and then he takes like 8 bites.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, like every single time. So that's all. New Haven style pizza is Dave Portnoy's favorite pizza. I'm not like the biggest Dave Portnoy fan, with all that being said, but I do fuck with his pizza reviews.
Yeah.
And so New Haven is what he's always raving about constantly. We did Frank Pepe is like last summer.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah. So anyway, that's that. There you go. That
yeah.
was my shout out to New Haven, Connecticut, which is that's where you're from. Essentially, where you're from.
Where we came up.
Yeah. Okay. So we originally met at AXE's Camp Zool, probably 3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, and so I kind of just want to lead in with how did you? I don't, because I don't want to say you align with those guys, because you really don't. But like how did that kind of form? You know, how has that kind of been part of your alley, if you will?
We love the LLE dudes, man. Those are like family to us. Those guys have been super awesome with us from just the jump,
Oh,
really.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of how we kind of first crossed paths. I know there was like the fun time stuff, like,
Right.
you know, I think it was Whip that reached out to me at one point, just like big up in the music and stuff like that. And you know, we already fucked with what they were doing, and so it was like a mutual respect thing, and then we just kind of got to know each other over the years and really kick it and just make a bunch of music. And obviously the Zool guys and SOM, man, we've been cool with them for a group too, man. I think we also started, you know, not to the taboo topics, but back when they were on M&E, George was kind of fucking with us too, and you know, offered us some shows with Twisted and all that. So we kind of got aligned and talking with all the same kind of people. And eating lunch.
Yeah. And for the record, there's no taboo when it comes to Fago lovers or me.
Yeah.
We root for both sides here, and
good music is good music.
And
man.
there are people on both sides who we consider family, like what you just said,
Yeah.
and there are people on both sides who downright kind of don't like us.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about major important people, right? And so we still roll with how we roll, and it's not to disrespect those people. What their feelings are their feelings, and that's their drama to deal with.
Everybody's
So
different.
right. So
Nobody has to like everybody.
right. And you know, to be truthful, my opinion on the Zool Boys is that it's unfortunate that it didn't work out with M&E. That's, as a fan, that's how I see it, right? Because just like I was talking about LLE, M&E, I got friends on both sides, you know.
Yeah.
And so I you know, I'm not picking no favorites. So again, that never needs to be.
We're rooting for everybody.
Yeah. Right, me too. I want everybody to win. So I know I kind of went off on a tangent there, but where I was going with the LLE tie-in was obviously we brought about a fun time, and I don't know why it took me so long to fully grasp about Super Famous Fun Time Guys versus Super Famous Fun Time Gang. I didn't.
Probably took you as long as me, man.
Okay. All right. So my boy McNasty, and I've mentioned this several times. He's a very good friend of mine. Really,
love Nasty.
Yeah. Shout out Chris. If you have a gathering booklet in your hand right now because you're at the gathering, McNasty did all the design for that shit. That's the type of shit McNasty does. So anyway, on top of that, he's a really dope MC. And McNasty was part of the first Fun Time Guys album. And it was kind of like, are you a member or not? And even at that time, McNasty's like, I don't really know. You know what I mean? And obviously in the long run, he ended up not being. But you know, those guys were like, but he's always Fun Time Gang.
Right.
And then the album that basically you did with them, I had the same question, like, so is Stray in Fun Time Guys now? And they were like, no, he's Fun Time Gang. So he might be on a whole album with us, and then never work with us again. Like, you know, because I know how those guys roll too about stuff. So just tell me a little bit about specifically that project with the Fun Time Guys.
So I think it really spawned from, they were starting to work on I'll Tell You When I Want to Laugh by Laughing. That was kind of in its infant stages, I would say. And we had just did the pop punk song, right?
Yeah, we just wrapped that up.
Yeah, and there wasn't like any talks of anything. It was just kind of like, oh, we're doing a feature for our boys, that's it. And then it was I Don't Know Might Cry Later, that song.
Okay.
That's like one of the closers on the album. And they had their verses on it, and Whip hit me up one day and was just like, hey man, we're having trouble with this hook, like, would you want to try something? And I loved the song, like, from the moment I heard it, and I think it was like within that day I just kind of was vibing out to it and shot it right back. And I think we all kind of collectively were like, there might be like a cool vibe here, you know. Right. Then it kind of turned into, you know, because they were mostly working with dubs at the time.
Again, and, which is official, unofficial third member, whether or not that was real, right? Exactly.
And shout out to Dubs, man. Yep. Super talented guy. And they kind of hit me on some just like, yo, like, Dubs is dealing with some personal stuff, and but we're trying to wrap this up. Like, do you think you could do like maybe some background harmonies on some stuff just to kind of tighten it all up? And I said, yeah, no problem. And we kind of went from there. And then I think it was prior to the album coming out, or after, I don't know. It's kind of a little hazy. It all moves so fast, but they basically just approached me and they were like, "Yo, do you want to do more of this shit with us? Like, do you want to do the fun time gang thing and like have a mask and all that?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude, let's do it!" Like, I love those dudes. I love making music with them. It's because it's so different from any of the music I make or we make, and because a lot of our stuff is more serious
than most people make.
Yeah, but you know, but like with their stuff, I get to kind of like go out of my comfort zone and try new things that I normally wouldn't, and you know, not be as serious and stuff like that. So it's been fun. And then they had They Wouldn't Let Us Film Here, Volume 1 that came out, and a lot of those songs were kind of like half finished, and they just like put a gang of them in my lap, and they were like, "Yo, if you want to do hooks, you want to do verses, like whatever, like free reign with it."
And you're on like 90% of it, right? Yeah.
And I just ended up banging all that out, and then we did it. And then there was the Camp Zool when they brought me out, and I first like
with
showed
the mask
and stuff. Yeah. So, and we're still working on stuff. So
okay. So I will, before we focus on Stray, we'll do one more group, which is obviously Sky Swamp Orange. Yes. So, and you feel free to chime in with whatever, man. I'm an overtalker. I'm an overtalker as well. So, but yeah, so Sky Swamp Orange, and again, I don't want to steal any thunder from what I talk about here tonight, but I'm gonna say basically the same thing. Like, this is 2/5 of Sky Swamp Orange, which is kind of it's like an alternative metal hip hop mashup, and that's just my like a kind of the grunge sound with maybe a little bit more of like an updated metal sound to it, perhaps, and then the hip hops that you do. But you are also singing, and then you sing, and then also do some growling, if you will, the more of the death metal sort of.
He plays all the bass too.
Right. So please expound on Sky Swamp Orange.
It's a mouthful.
And real quick, shout out to my guy Ron Jump. You know Ron Jump, Buckshot Boy. He told me about you guys probably. I don't know. When did your first album come out? Maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Odium came out in 22. That would be 4 years.
That's
ago.
probably when I started kind of talking.
Okay, so that was when I first like heard of Sky Swamp Orange through Ron Jump. So, but yeah, please expound on that.
Well, I mean, you know, we always went into it kind of with the goal in mind of like not conforming to like traditional standards in the sense of like, oh, you gotta like pick a sound and stick to it. So,
which was probably our worst decision.
It was. It's best and worst, you know, because like starting when we did the first EP we dropped sounds like nothing at all. You know, every single thing we've dropped sounds nothing like the last thing we did before. So it's like. Yeah, it's a roller coaster, but it's the way we tend to prefer it.
The band kind of, like, each member comes from different musical backgrounds, too. Like, him and our drummer Hunter come from, like, a predominantly, like, hardcore metal like, kind of scene and stuff, and they came up doing that. Ronnie, the guitar player, he and I grew up together, and he was always more into, like, the alternative, kind of more emo, catchy kind of pop punk, that kind of stuff. And I kind of come from more of a hip hop background and stuff, and we just try to like give and take, but rather than just be kind of like, your average like new metal band, I guess. Just like, here's a bunch of distorted guitars and let's rap over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try to incorporate like specific elements, like we'll do like more of a funky bass line, because this dude, like, when he gets in the groove, it's crazy. And then, you know, trying to put more like ambient guitars on that, but with like a hip-hop breakbeat or some shit, you know, just to kind of, I don't know, just keep it funky. And it's hard though, you know, checking off all the boxes and stuff. But yeah, man, we've been around for about 10 years now. Sky Swamp's kind of been on a little hiatus though, because everybody's got life stuff going on, getting married, you know, all that kind of.
I said I hear a lot about music is fantasy land.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I didn't come early this year to the gathering because I moved my oldest daughter into her college dorm.
Oh, okay.
Right, like real life gets in the way of fantasy land all the time. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes.
It's always family first, man, and that's always been our philosophy.
Right.
Because like outside of the music, it's like all of us are like the closest of like friends and stuff, and see each other all the time. And but yeah, man, it's been a fun ride, like, but things kind of got in the way with Sky Swamp like a couple years ago, and Stray Novls kind of just popped out of survival mode pretty much. And we've just been kind of riding the wave since.
Right. Now, so have you been focused at all on doing like hip hop vocals so much, or not really?
I mean, yes and no.
Okay.
I kind of flip flop. Unfortunately, like, I'm a bit of an overthinker when it comes to like what's in front of me. So I will be super into one mode and kind of like, all right, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm feeling, and then all of a sudden I'll just be like, to me it just doesn't sound like it's working. It's just not. I gotta like shift it another way. I will say though, like, now that I have the opportunity to work with Charlie Beans, because he's a part of Rogue Hollow too.
Okay.
He's definitely got a lot more. I mean, this man is like an engineering master and a production master, and he, like, the way the guy notates, like, here are some suggestions, I think these are your strengths and these are your weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's super beneficial. I'm really excited to, you know, expand upon working with him.
Yeah, I tell you could take the same hip hop verse, and us three could all spit it, right? It could be pre-written for all of us, and we could go in the booth and all three of us would spit it, and there would be levels to how good or bad it sounded for various reasons, delivery and you know. And I remember one of the first times being in like in a professional recording situation, and a guy we all know and like, I would in general, right? And the way he was spitting while I was in the studio and I heard it, I was like, why is he doing that with his voice? And then the song played back out of the monitors, and it's how he sounds, right? But I never noticed how much he was like forcing that sound to make it happen, right? But it doesn't sound it like when he's in the studio and you hear it, it's like, oh my god. But then when they play it back, it's like, oh yeah, that's what it sounds like. You know, so it's like working on your, you know, delivery, your voice inflection, and how you want to sound. Like, all that stuff is. If you got somebody on your team that can polish that up, I think that's monumental.
He's been a really good, like, kind of behind the scenes dude for me as well. Like, when I've been working on projects, like, he's the first person I show stuff to, and I'm just like, is this ass, or like, do we got a banger here? And you know, it's good to have people like him around that aren't a yes man either. You know, like, I think he lives for telling me when a song sucks. Like, he gets excited too. All
right. So yeah, you mentioned it earlier, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but for me, I grew up a hip hop kid too, for the most part, right? You know, I'm the youngest of 5, so like, you know, my older sister was like Bob Marley and Fishbone, and like I still fuck with that kind of shit. And my next brother was like Chili Peppers, and I still fuck with that a lot. But me and my brother that's closest in age to me, we're very much, you know, like Run DMC era. You know, Too Short, when he was calling himself Playboy Too Short, like 1987, 98. My oldest brother came home with the NWA and the Posse tape. And I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and we like wore the fuck out of that tape to where, like, you know, remember cassette tapes? It would sound weird, right? So I was very much in line with hip hop, and with some occasional rock music would come into my life, right? And so when the grunge thing hit, I was into that, like, you know. And again, this Chili Peppers is kind of, sort of in that vein, but like when the Nirvana and Alice in Chains and the Soundgarden and those guys came out, like, I got into that, and then, you know, like when like the Slipknot, Mudvayne, that kind of that first era
Yeah.
of new metal. Like I got into that, and I think and Tool. I fuck with Tool, but I got into Tool like probably in 2000 because like you know what I mean. Tool was to me some shirt that a kid wore at school. Like I didn't really fuck with Tool. I didn't know what it was. And then and you could that same era you could go all the way back to like The Cure and Depeche Mode, like stuff that was playing when I was a kid, but I didn't really know.
Right.
And then like as like a 30-year-old or a 25-year-old, I started fucking with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you know, I'm kind of all over the place with that being said. But with that being said, my rock music that I fuck with is that it's interesting, and I will pick on metal a little bit because metal very much like sounds so similar a lot of the time. And you know you can only do so much, let's say, with the same 4 instruments that everybody else is doing. And so my thing with metal is it has to be interesting for me to really fuck with it.
It's the same for us.
And that's where I'm going with Sky Swamp Orange. Is interesting rock music because I won't call it metal because I want to like, but it's interesting rock music, and that's why I think.
And it's not for everybody too, but it's like I think if for anybody watching, we have an album called Odium by Sky Swamp Orange, and we poured a lot into that, and it's a moody little album, but I promise you there's at least a section of a song, right?
Oh,
a
yeah.
section of a song that you might like.
If you don't fuck with that, maybe you like a more chill vibe. Go back, we put out an EP in 2018 called Harmonies and Hangover. It's got more of a beach vibe to it.
Yeah, mixing sucks, but it's fine.
Yeah, you have that in early music careers, right?
Oh man, our first 2 EPs are such trash, but they took us, great memories attached to it. Like we were recording the first Sky Swamp EP inside of like an active trap house,
nice
and stuff, and just like on a shitty little mic, and but you know when we put out those first 2 EPs, we hustled our asses off, like made sure we could go to like jump on any show, any local bar show in New Haven, like we were on that shit.
Oh, we were getting shit from a lot of those shows because they'd book us and then find out half the band was underage.
Yeah. But eventually, you know, we hustled our way up into going on Warped Tour and all that.
I should clarify the underage thing. We were all above 18. bar
under
age.
21 age. Gotcha. All right. And then we'll focus on Stray, the solo artist, and shout out to Shane Smith. I know you know who that is.
It's my fucking boy.
So yeah, Cloudy Alibi. He wouldn't leave me the fuck alone about that album.
Good.
So the funny thing, and again, it's I don't want to ruin what I'm going to say on stage because I like fucking with you guys a little bit. So, you know, I think you guys and he were under the impression that I wasn't fucking with you because I didn't want to for some strange reason, and so I think that was Shane's. For the record, it was more Shane focused.
Shane's fucking stoking the fire.
Right. And so then when I gave it Cloudy Alibi a raving review on 120 seconds, you go back and look, and I'll link it below. He was like, oh, like either it was like a I told you so, or maybe it was like a, oh, you did like it, like you know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, because like I saw them at Zool. Yeah. Like I yeah, what are you talking about? Like so anyway, fucking Shane. Yeah, so Cloudy Alibi, gonna give it. But so how long has that been already, though?
That's 2023.
Right, I was gonna say about 3 years. So okay, so since then, what focuses and releases? Kind of walk me through it.
So right after that is when the Fun Time stuff kicked in. So we did those 2 releases. I also dropped an EP called Black Summer with Samson Sampson.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Sam Simpson was interviewed here 1 year ago today, so you can maybe I'll throw that one out too.
Yeah, and what else was after that?
After that, you did Enjoy the View.
Enjoy the View was last year. That was like an 8-song EP of like kind of a little more chill, a little more like kind of upbeat because I feel like Cloudy Alibi was so depressing and stuff. I mean, I was going through a shit time in my life at the time, like a lot of like personal shit was going on, and that album, I don't know, it's weird when you kind of like you you put your bullshit into a song to feel better,
Yeah.
right? And then it's like ripping the Band-Aid off, having to go perform
Like
it,
when you go
like
do it,
every
yeah,
time. You
yeah,
know,
I
it's
got
like
you.
recycling pain, like
Uh-huh.
over and over again, and it's tough, you know. And
I
it's
know.
like someone's like, "Dude, this is my favorite song," and I'm like, "Damn."
Right.
Yeah.
I know it's funny.
If you only knew what this was true.
I was
Yeah.
like, if you saw me fucking break down.
Right.
But in that time period, like, I was doing a lot of like kind of interpersonal work on myself, just as a human, focusing on family stuff. Like, I got married during that time too, so my spirits were starting to feel real high. So I had this, like, a follow-up to Cloudy Alibi plan called Flinch, right, which was gonna kind of go even more darker
Uh-huh.
than that. And I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, I feel like I'm just getting out of this like headspace. I can't go right back in yet.
Mhm.
And so Enjoy the View was kind of just this quick, like, super vibey, more upbeat. I mean, it's still a little depressing towards the end, but it was just a shift in a vibe.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just to kind of, so I was
Right.
just reflecting where I'm at. And then a couple months ago, you know, we launched our collective Rogue Hollow, and we announced James Joyce the Squatch
Okay.
was with us, and we put out his project called Discomfort In back in March, and then
He was doing shit with Donnie Menace, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah.
part of Nightbreed
yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing MC. If you haven't checked out his album Discomfort In, do it.
So good.
And then we have our producer Charlie Beans.
That's who you're talking
who
about.
we brought
before, yeah.
on.
And he's
who-
an East Coast dude as well, right?
he's Michigan.
Yeah.
Oh, Michigan.
He's
Okay.
down the dirty
Why else would I know that name?
He's worked with Twisted, Blaze. He produced all of Dead Vulture by Blaze.
Oh, that's what it
yeah.
is. Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay. We can. Yeah.
So, yeah, we started making a lot of music, and then just asked him kind of to click up with us, and it's been awesome so far. Just
Okay.
making a bunch of stuff. But we dropped, me and him dropped an EP called Blink of an Eye just a couple months ago.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, little
okay.
like 5-song kind of banger.
Okay.
That ties into the upcoming release, which is
Okay.
Flinch.
Okay,
And
Flinch,
That's
okay.
the full length that I've been working on the last, like, damn near 3 years
Okay.
at this point.
See, so shit does get by me for the record.
Mhm.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's like
Man,
we
this-
didn't put a lot of promo into
It's an
it.
oversaturated world.
Too. We gave like a week warning before
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
it because it was blink of an eye,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, if you listen to Cloudy Alibi, Enjoy the View, Blink of an Eye, it all kind of follows a similar storyline,
Okay.
so to speak, for all my nerdy people who like lore and shit. And it all leads into this album, which I'm insanely proud of, which will be dropping in October. But first single drops on September 1st.
Okay, so there'll be 6 of those albums, and then after
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
you just say
7
you say
EPs.
fuck it, we're gonna
Yeah.
do 6 more. No.
This pretty much like Enjoy the View and Blink of an Eye were just meant to like tide people over, because I realized that it had been like a decent amount of time.
Good,
and
that's what I was saying.
Just
yeah.
trying to stay
Yeah.
active
Yeah.
and keep my pen sharp too. And but in the background of all those projects, I've been writing and rewriting and all this stuff, just trying to like pretty much like top Cloudy Alibi,
He
but also
has put in, like, I can't even tell you the amount of time that this man's reworked, like, almost all the songs multiple times, just to craft, like, what as perfect as he can get, like, for this, like, his vision. He's super dedicated to it. I think it's super inspirational, honestly.
Awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, but
Awesome.
that's coming. First single is called Gutted, and it features Billy Obey from
Yeah.
AXE.
Yep.
And
He's a hook right motherfucker, Billy.
oh,
Obey.
dude! Oh,
Yeah.
he dropped a nasty ass verse on this, man,
Okay.
and it's awesome. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, I've taken up enough of your time, and I feel like I've covered something. But this is where I always say, kind of, what did I miss? What did I miss?
If you're not familiar with me, I dropped an EP in 2020
There you go, there you go,
That's
there you go.
right.
called
I forgot.
Things Seen and Heard.
Okay. See, I didn't know
Yeah.
that at all either. There you go.
Check
And
out
then
Things Seen and Heard, man.
Some unrelated singles throughout time.
Mhm.
Intentions, and also Bloodhound.
But we're starting to.
Yeah.
put stuff together
Well,
for a new solo novel project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I was gonna. You are gonna do like hip hop Stray Novels shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. But-
We have no plans right now of like a Stray Novels album.
Oh,
or
okay.
anything
Oh,
like
okay.
that.
Okay.
We just hop on each other's shit all
Okay.
the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not to say never. We make a shit ton of music. Like even if you don't hear us vocally on each other's stuff, we're like kind of in the studio working with each other on all of it. But and we've been here and there kind of writing for a new Sky Swamp album as well. But I have no idea when that's gonna come out yet.
Okay.
So.
All right. So dropping promos and that's all. Yeah. But feel free. Whatever. Facebook, Instagrams, link trees, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Fire away.
RogueHollow.net. You can find everything right there. Little portal.
ROGUEHOLLOW.net. I'll link it below.
That's it.
That'll lead to like a link tree or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And that is the collective, if you will, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and like you said,
You'll find links to all of us
right.
and everybody else, which
Okay.
is it's us, James Joyce the Squatch, Charlie Beans.
Okay,
That's the crew.
okay. So as
Sky
always,
Swamp.
links below on all of it. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the intro tonight.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Don't let me down, man.
I'll
I'm
tell you,
ready.
When I did the first time I did the Fun Time Guys. Nobody will care, but I don't care.
I
but
care.
I introduced him to the stage. When I started with, I've done a lot of stages and hosted a lot of stages, and it just, been able to bring absolute legends in my world to the stage. Like if the high school me knew the shit that I'd be doing in my 40s, like I wouldn't believe it. And I was like, so every once in a while you get the opportunity to, introduce absolute legends or people you're a huge fan of to the stage. And then other times I got to do it for these guys, I heard them like backstage, like that fucker, and so then like a couple months later, they were on tour Zool, and with Moranis of PLC in Minnesota, and Moranis asked me to come up and host that show, so I went up there and I did literally the same intro. So
That's good, man.
Got him twice.
Yeah, yep. So all right. Stray and Novels of Sky Swamp Orange, and also solo artists. Again, links below. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, man.
All right.
They gonna love us for life.
Yeah, I don't go there.
Right.
I don't fuck with them anymore. I used to like them.